Good morning, Indian Hills. This is Mrs. Sandersfeld-Miller here with the first new book order of the school year. So I know that Bleach is one of our most popular series for manga, so we got the next box set 22 through 48. We also have more Naruto 28 through 48. We have a couple more of Nathan Hale's Hazardous Tales, the new ones. I'm getting a new series in, The Goddess Girls, about Greek mythology. That one is book number 3, but I have 1 through 4. I just need to finish getting the rest ready. What else do we have? We have a Project Knot, kind of a sci-fi one. Fibbed has some African mythology in there. A couple other new ones. We have The Last Comics on Earth. This one is kind of cool, The Voice for a Refugee. This one is written in English and Arabic. So you can read the graphic novel on the front half in English, and then you can flip it over and see it in Arabic. We have Maker Comics, How to Bake Like a Pro. Sweet Valley Twins, book number 2. We also have a couple new basketball nonfiction books, Legends of the NBA. And then Hoop Kings is kind of cool. It's poetry about basketball and famous basketball players. We have the next 2 in the Five Nights at Freddy's Tales from the Pizzaplex series, number 6 and 7. We also have a few sequels or next in series books. So the One and Only Ruby is book 3 in the One and Only Ivan series. One of Us is Back is book 3 in the One of Us is Lion series. And then Cherish is book 6. And I think that one is the final book of the Crave series. Then we have some fiction books. The Swag is in the Socks. It's about a boy who is challenged by his family to try and get into this elite after-school program that people in his family were a part of. And so he's trying to kind of, build up his confidence and get some swag so that he feels like he can fit into that group. Judy Blume, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. It's based off of the movie that just came out last summer. So just kind of a story about girls growing up, dealing with stuff that girls have to deal with growing up. Opinions and Possums. This one is about a girl who's pretty quiet, but she decides that she wants to start questioning things and forming her own opinions and doing her own critical thinking and not just taking what adults tell her at face value. She wants to kind of form her own opinions. Jennifer Chan is Not Alone. This one is about a girl who is hanging out with kind of the popular girl at school, and then a new girl moves in, and they kind of are not too nice to the new girl, and then all of a sudden the new girl disappears. So they are trying to figure out what happened to the new girl and if this main character had anything to do with her disappearance. And then Love Clancy is a book about a dog, and he just kind of writes this diary from his point of view. He has to live with his arch enemy, a cat. And we have a few mysteries. At the Speed of Lies is about kids that go missing, and these high school kids kind of form a club to try and solve some of these mysteries, but then more people continue to disappear and things start getting more dangerous. No One Leaves the Castle. This one is about a kid who wants to be a bounty hunter, and so they go to investigate this mysterious family who is missing something, but the castle ends up being magic and the spell locks them all inside, and there's a murderer inside of the castle, but they can't get out of the castle, and so good murder mystery with that. Lying in the Deep is about a cruise. This girl her boyfriend breaks up with her and starts seeing one of her friends. So she's really upset about it. And it gets even worse when she finds out that the ex-boyfriend and ex-best friend are also going to be on this cruise. And then people start getting murdered. So it gets even worse after that. The Jump is kind of about an oil company that wants to build some big oil thing right on top of this group of kids there, where their families live and where they work. And so they don't want to lose this whole community. And so they start to take part in this scavenger hunt to try and bring down this oil company. And then Snow and Poison is a retelling of the story of Snow White by Melissa Day Cruz. She's a very popular author in the library. And then we have some new Quick Pick books. Quick Picks are the ones with the yellow stickers. They are just nice, short, fast reads with short chapters. So we have a couple of nonfiction ones. This one is about a girl who's just a regular girl from New Orleans, but she ends up winning the National Spelling Bee. She's a Guinness World Records holder. She was on Sports Illustrated. So a little bit about her and her life. And then we have football superstars, Ronaldo. I already had Messi, but I just got Ronaldo in. And this one is just kind of like some fun stats and facts and lots of illustrations. So it's a nice quick read. And then these three are fiction ones. Aftershock is about a girl who experiences an earthquake. And then her and her sister have to try to survive and try and find their parents. Dark Tide is about a boy who gets taken out into the middle of nowhere with his dad on this remote island to do some research, but it turns out there's this creepy creature that is trying to hunt them down and kill them. And then Wingman is a book about hockey. So this kid, his friend is really good at hockey, but he accidentally scores a goal for the other team in a game, and then he starts showing up with bruises all over his face, and so he's just kind of worried about his friend because he's usually really clutch when it comes to hockey. So those are some good quick pick new books. Then we have some historical graphic novels. So Good Girls Don't Make History, just about girls and powerful women in history who made a change. I Survived the Great Chicago Fire, so one of the I Survived adaptations. And 83 Days in Mariupol. This one is about the war in Ukraine and the invasion and how people are trying to survive. And a couple more fiction books. The Academy is about a boy trying to get into an elite soccer academy. And then Witchlings kind of sounds a little bit like Harry Potter, but for witches. So they go to this private school and they try to become witches, and they're put into different groups based on their abilities. So it reminds me a little bit of Harry Potter. And last, we have a few more nonfiction books, inspirational sports stories for young readers. This one is a good one, kind of short chapters, some illustrations, nice, short, easy one. This one is a interesting life of a person who was taken from Africa and enslaved in Britain, and then he wrote an autobiography, and it kind of helped to influence the end of the slave trade in Britain. And then 365 Days of Wonder. If you have read Wonder, you know that Mr. Brown always had a quote for every day. So if you are looking for inspiration, you want some inspirational quotes and some inspirational sayings, this would be a great book to check out. So if any of these look great, you can either put them on hold or come on into the library to check them out.